Hey friends, this is Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous, where we discuss pop culture through the lens of race or gender, and sometimes both. I'm your host, Julia Washington, and on today's show, I'm discussing the 1999 teen rom-com, 10 Things I Hate About You, with two friends from my high school years who happen to be sisters. 10 Things I Hate About You stars Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, Larisa Olynik, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a film inspired by William Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. The film released March 31st, 1999, right smack dab in the middle of my freshman year of high school. But before we dive into a summary of the movie, let me introduce you to my guests. You may remember Carly Adams from past episodes like Little Women and Moxie. She's a home organizer based in Sacramento, California, and owner of Tidy Revival. We are joined by her sister, Becca Montes, who is the CEO of Casa de Montes. All three of us attended high school together during the 10 Things era. And fair warning, listeners, since we have all known each other for several decades, this could get chaotic. Hello, Becca and Carly.
Hey, Julia.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm so excited you guys are here.
This is going to be a little bit ridiculous. I'm excited.
I'm really looking forward to the levels of crazy this is going to get.
Friends, you've been warned. Since this film came out last century, let's do a quick summary. When new student Cameron sees Bianca Stratford for the first time, it's love at first sight. Only one problem: Bianca isn't allowed to date until her sister Kat starts dating. Kat, the unlovable, angry on the surface feminist who thinks dating in high school is a waste of time. Cameron, along with his new friend Michael, devise a plan to hire someone to date Kat. But who would be so brave? Enter Patrick Verona, equally as scary, but not as disgusted by dating. As Patrick begins to woo Kat as part of the scheme, he begins to develop real feelings. The only problem is Cameron's not the only one vying for Bianca's affection. Joey Donner has skin in the game, and when Kat finds out the truth behind Patrick's intentions, her world comes crashing down. At the time, Variety had this to say: at its most promising, 10 Things aims for an anything goes, silly reminiscent of teen pick classics like 16 Candles, but it lurches all over the map, encompassing dialogue both inspired and juvenile tasteless. There's also middling slapstick, rampant product placement, and awkward bits of earnest drama. Reviewers were mixed on this film, one that has since become a heavy favorite amongst the millennial generation. So let's begin here. Did you see the movie when it first came out in 1999, and did you enjoy it?
All right, so I'll go first.
Yay.
Freshman year, I had, it wasn't AP, it was pre-AP English. And my English teacher was kind of weird.
Wait, who did you have?
I forget his name.
Freshman year.
Random white dude?
Yeah, that sounds right.
He was like, I'll give you guys extra credit if you go see this movie that's based on Taming of the Shrew. And I was like, so you're going to give me extra credit to go see Heath Ledger in a movie? Hell yes. And so I went with like, I don't know, like 4 of my friends, and like our moms and dads dropped us off, and we saw a PG-13 movie by ourselves.
So risque.
Like, so exciting.
Oh my God.
And I just remember afterwards just being like, oh my God, I'm a total cat.
Yeah.
And really, I think I'm a total Bianca. Like, let's be honest. Carly is Kat. I am Bianca. Or I'm like Kat Bianca, and then our little sisters are total Biancas.
Yes.
So I just thought I was like, I'm a badass. I'm a feminist. And also Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Oh, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in fineness, that man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I didn't think that it was like cheesy. I did like, because I knew like,
well, and we were 15. We were the target audience. Like, They could have been our friends if we lived in Seattle.
Exactly. Yeah. It felt like very much like, oh, and those are the popular kids, and those are the grungy kids, and those are these kids, and those are that kids. And it was like, no, but like, I know like that's, if that was at our school, that would be them, and that would be them, and that would be them. And like, I liked how like the movie like showed that there is like intermixing between like groups, because most high school movies didn't do that. Most high school movies were just like, if you're this, you're this, you're this, you're like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Can't intermix. There's no intermixing. I thought this movie did a good job, like realistically showing what high school can be like. I mean, definitely like through the lens of Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. It was like one of my favorite movies.
Same. It's like in my top 5, which I don't have a top 5, but if people are like, what movies can you watch on repeat? I'm like, girl, you want me to recite 10 things I hate about you for you? Because like I can act that whole shit out.
I hadn't watched it. I literally hadn't watched it in years. And I was like watching it on Disney Plus, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can recite every single line.
Oh, I love
and also Carly can agree that dad is our dad.
Oh my gosh, I have that in the notes. Yes, it's totally our dad. And there were so many things about that plot line with the dating rules, and the reason being because we don't want you to get pregnant.
Yeah, because I'm up to my elbows in placenta all day.
Yeah.
Like,
such a great line.
Such a graphic line.
Yeah.
As a mom, I know how disgusting that is.
Yeah. Carly, what about you?
I don't remember exactly when I saw it, but I do remember that I loved it. And I loved Heath Ledger. If he was in it, I wanted to watch it. When he passed on, I like cried for days. And there are something like, I couldn't even watch The Joker because when the preview came on in the theater, I was crying, and it was because of Heath Ledger. I am still so sad about his early passing, and like just loved him. So yeah, anything he was in, I saw it, I loved it, I was all about it. I thought that movie was super cute, and I think it holds up really well. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more too.
Don't give anything away yet.
I will not.
No spoilers.
But the thing is, I feel like, it's fun, it's cute, it's got like all the heavy hitters of the 90s. Andrew Keegan?
Andrew Keegan.
Oh my God.
He's so cute.
He did not age well, but that's another story.
Oh, yeah, Andrew Keegan, Gabrielle Union, who is in apparently like everything in the 90s
movie. Every teen 90s movie.
I forgot that she was in that movie. And then I watched other movies from that, and I was like,
she's like,
no wonder she doesn't act anymore, because she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to. She's probably just like saving her money like a boss.
Yeah, and she's the quintessential late 90s high school movie sidekick.
Yeah. It's got Alex Mack. Come on. So good. So
you
good.
say Alex Mack, I say Dawn from the Babysitter's Club.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Yeah, loved it. There was so much to love about that movie, so much to love, and I just think it was the cutest, and I adore it. The scene where he sings, I love you, baby, like, yes. They had a different song picked out for that scene, and Heath Ledger was like, I got you. How about we try this, or something to that effect, and it worked out great, I think. And they were just like, have fun with it, have fun with this scene. You could tell movies that last forever, when you read these anniversary articles about like interviews with the people, they always talk about how they're like, we didn't really know what we were doing, we just wanted to make a great movie and have fun. And it's like, you can tell, and it translates so well, and that's why it lasts forever. And Becca and I marched in high school too, so the fact that marching band was involved, I was just like,
I really appreciate it.
So much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys.
I want to know how we managed to be friends in high school, because the words "we were in marching band" just left your mouth.
Sorry. I was literally in every band, just Afro-Cuban band. That was a thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's going to give me a pin to put on my Letterman jacket that I never bought. Sure.
I think I think band is actually the reason that we are friends, Julia, because I was also in every band from like jazz to marching to pep, but I was also in a garage ska band.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where all our mutual friends, like the whole like punk scene came into play, which is why we're still friends today. So
yeah.
Thanks, band.
Thanks, dirty punk rock music.
Those underage clubs in Modesto.
I was driving by where Tees and Greens it used to be the other day, and I was telling the kids, I was like, there used to be this like music club here, but it was like a driving range during the day, and they were like, what? Like, I know. Do you ever drive past that church on Briggsmore and you're like, that used to be a venue too? And they're like, for who, Jesus? Yeah. You're like, no. Actual rock shows played there. Yeah. Couldn't cuss, but it was actual rock music. But it was cool. And if we wanted to smoke our cigarettes, we had to walk out to the street. I'm just kidding. I never smoked in high school. It's not okay. Like, you must be 21 years older. No, it's 21 now. 21 now. Yeah. Hey friends, did you know that I have spoken about representation in media and literature other than just on the podcast? I've been booked to speak at company meetings, panel discussions, voiceovers for commercials and video narratives, and to moderate discussion panels. To learn more about how you can book me for an event, just shoot me an email. popculturemakesmejealous@gmail.com. Use speaking engagement as the subject line. Looking forward to working with you. According to every single review I've read, or nearly every review, 1999 was the year of the movie Prom, with She's All That and Never Been Kissed, also using prom as a come-together point. But who cares about prom when you're a freshman or a sophomore, unless you're Bianca Stratford? Clearly set in Seattle, this movie was filled with quirky yet lovable characters. Kat is the elder sister, best known for her tough exterior and extreme distaste for school spirit. Bianca is the younger, and she is beautiful, bubbly, and popular. She wants to be adored. The girls couldn't be more different and struggle to get along, but one thing becomes very clear by the end. They love each other very much. So I want to know, and you guys already answered this kind of, which sister were you most like in high school, and which sister do you identify with now? In my mind, like I said, in my mind, I was Kat. I was badass. I was independent. People were afraid of me. Were people afraid of you? I don't remember that. Yeah, I mean, my sister, in my mind, I thought people were afraid. Right, in your mind, yes, got it. What was actually happening in reality is not that. I thought that I was like this badass porcupine of a person where like people want to be around you, but like you're prickly. So no, when really I was like a teddy bear. People were like, she's so cute. I remember you being very fun and warm and friendly. I was biggest flirt in high school. So obviously I finished as Bianca, I guess. I mean, Bianca didn't really she wasn't flirty. She was flirted with. Yeah. So I guess between the sisters, I'm more of a mix. A hybrid, if you will. A hybrid, yes. I'm Kat on the inside, Bianca on the outside. Love it. What about you? When before I thought I was Kat on the outside, Bianca on the inside. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. I feel like I was Kat. I feel like I am Kat. But
does that make me Mandela? I'm not obsessed with Shakespeare.
Oh my gosh.
You're not obsessed with Shakespeare.
That's also true.
also, Mandela is pretty cute. Way cuter.
Yeah, but I love her better in Center Stage.
Center Stage.
I do love her better in Center Stage. Have you done that episode yet? Can you come back to that episode?
Oh my gosh.
Bring all the tears.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Chaos ensues. So good. Yeah, Kat. I think I think I fancied myself a Kat. I think there's definitely some Bianca parts of my personality.
Yeah.
I think you have Bianca parts, like in that, like
I try to be kind.
You were always kind to other people.
Yeah, you're a very nice person.
You're other than your family.
No, I mean, you were always fairly nice, but like you were Kat in the like, I'm not gonna do what other people expect of me. I'm gonna pave my own path, kind of thing.
I blame our parents. They always pushed individuality, and I say that it just bit them right in the ass.
Straight in the keister.
Yeah, I loved, so there's that scene where like they're like, ugh, prom. And Mandela's like, I want to go and blah, blah, blah. And Kat's like, we shouldn't go. It's a statement, blah, blah. And she's like, cool, something different for us, making a statement.
Something new and different.
You guys, can I also say, I don't want to go into specifics, but let's just say I had it on good authority. I was going to get asked to the prom, and I was a sophomore that year. I was very excited about it. It was like the person that I was like madly obsessed and in love with. And long story short, it did not happen. They went with somebody else. I did not get asked, and I was devastated. And so this all centering around the prom, and the year it came out was that year. It's just like heartbreaking. Wish I could have been Bianca. Cried so hard.
I mean, I would have gone with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm just saying.
Woo! Yeah.
Then
he was a million times.
Yeah.
He was cute back then. He's cute now.
Yeah.
Cute now.
500 Days of Summer, 500 Days of Boners. Just saying. You're welcome.
Oh my God. I'm glad you went with 500 Days of Summer and not like Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh my God.
I mean, he was a child in Third Rock from the Sun. I think this was like his first movie, I think.
Was it his first movie? I know that he's done like a lot, like because he did like Angels in the Outfield and like
yeah, but I think
like,
this was like his
he was
first
a
movie where
Disney
he's like a lead role.
Okay.
Do you know
as like a teenager, because I think he was the lead in Angels in the Outfield, because he was like, he did a bunch of, I thought he did, maybe I'm wrong, I thought he did a bunch of Disney movies. But 10 Things I Hate About You, I think, was the first time I saw him with his short hair, because remember in Third Rock from the Sun he had long hair.
Oh yeah. It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
You could still get it. Long
he's
hair,
a cutie
hair.
Yeah, he's a little cutie. He's older than me, and I'm over here like, he's a little cutie.
He's a little baby cutie.
He just seems so petite, but like I know he's not that. Oh, he has my mom's birthday.
He's probably like 5'8", I would think.
IMDb does not say,
or maybe 5'9", because Larisa Olynik is like 5'8", 5'9".
Oh, it says that he's 5'9" and a quarter.
Oh, on a technicality,
the quarter gets him.
Yeah,
so he's like my dad's height. It's not short.
No.
It's like normal height.
It's like average.
Yeah. Average height. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, I say it's average height, but then Carly and I are married to giants.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh God, that's so short. It's like, no, but like that's normal height for
That's a normal height. Yeah.
We're just very standard height.
Yeah. It's my favorite when I like meet a guy in person from like online dating and they put that they were like 6'1" or 6 feet. And I'm like, no, you're not. I know exactly where I fit on a human body that is 6 feet tall. Stop lying. You were 5'11". You were 5'10". You're 5'6". Like, don't lie.
That's a thing with dating sites though. I've heard that a lot of guys, they want to hit the 6 foot mark because they feel like people are going to swipe the other way if they're under, which is just
that's mean. I'm okay with the 5'11". I'm okay with 5'11". I can still wear heels if you're 5'11".
Yeah, like 5'9". I can still wear heels if you're 5'9".
Like, do you want someone that's superficial anyway? Just put your real height and weed out the people who are rude about inches versus personality.
Amen.
Also, don't post a picture of you and a fish.
All the time. Somebody posted on Instagram a couple weeks ago, like this like jokey meme about like guys on dating profiles posting with their fishing photos, and she's in a relationship, and I messaged her, like, no, that's a real thing. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, girl, I can't tell you how many times I swipe left because it's like this motherfucker fishes, and that's like only his picture is fishing.
Yeah, if I wanted to date my dad, like.
I'm more concerned about you being gone all the time fishing. Like, I have spent enough time alone. If I'm looking for a partner, like, well,
saying you're going fishing. Although, I mean, I have a friend who I'm sure when they met on a dating profile, it said that he fished, and she was like, "Yes, I'm in." And they go like, she'll like put on like gaiters and go fishing. I'm like,
good for them.
Great for you.
Yeah,
so happy for you. That's not my journey.
No, mine either. I want to discuss side characters: Chastity, Mandela, Bogey Lowenstein, etc. And the teachers, Mr. Chapin, Miss Perky, Mr. Morgan. I have 2 questions here. Who was your favorite side character?
I'm going to go with Mandela because I think her obsession with William Shakespeare is so cute and just like an adorable nod. And then, yeah, I've seen Center Stage like 25 times. So anything
this year,
anything with Maureen, I'm in 100%. I just think she's great. And her character in this was really, really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love that she and what's his face hook up in the end.
So
Michael.
He's my favorite side character. Which, like, I would argue that he's not really a side character. He's like, what is it?
Mainish.
Supporting.
He's a supporting role for sure.
He's a supporting role. He's not like a side.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy Michael. I enjoy how he's self-deprecating. I enjoy how he seems like, as far as like high school students, he seems very sure of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like most high school students aren't that sure of himself. Like even like Cameron's character is like confident, like questions himself.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's just like, no man, own it. You can do it. I can help you. Like everybody needs a Michael in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He's the best hype man. And he also wasn't afraid of Kat. Like he was afraid of Kat, but like he was respectfully afraid of her. He also wasn't really afraid of Patrick.
Yeah.
But everybody else was. But I liked how he was like, you know, this is just how it is.
A couple of scenes that I love that he is sort of takes the lead in is where he first meets Cameron and Cameron's like, oh, thank God, they usually send an audio visual geek, and this people walk in, hey Michael, where should we put the slides? He's like, Michael, who are you talking to? And then like walks away.
Yeah.
And then the other one is when they're at the bar updating Patrick about like things they found out about Kat, and he goes, excuse me, should you be drinking if you don't have a liver?
And he's like, what? And he's like, never mind.
Never mind. Moving right along. Yeah, like I was like, I got kicked out of the group. It was a hostile takeover.
Yeah, but I'll be their god again. Yeah.
They heard I bought my eyes at an outlet mall. Like, can we talk about that for a second? Because like in high school,
that reference,
that was like, ooh, like you buy
time
stuff at an outlet mall. Like, could you imagine like getting caught like with like your Abercrombie, but like you bought it at the Abercrombie outlet in Tracy?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
How dare?
I would be mortified.
Yes. Whereas I'm over here in high school making my own clothes.
I was at Buy Right buying men's corduroys.
Yes.
Now washed out.
I was sharing a pair of jeans with my best friend because we found them at the rummage sale and both loved them so much that we wore them to death, but shared them.
That's very sisterhood of the traveling pants of you.
Yes. Yes,
really
it was very, very was.
Okay, but who was your favorite teacher?
Becca?
I have to go with Miss Perky.
Reginald's quivering member.
I was watching it back. I forgot about that plot point.
She just
for some reason. I know, and she's just like, okay, like move along, like scoot.
Got a novel to finish.
Yes, her erotic novel. I forgot about that. I was like, oh my god.
When she asks her assistant, "What's another word for engorged?"
Dying. Can we talk about Mr. Morgan and how great he was and how he just gave like 0 F's? Was just like, no, I'm not dealing with you. Get out of here.
Calling all these fucking people out. Like, next time you want to storm the PTA for your better lunch meat or whatever, ask them why they can't buy a book by a black man. And then the Rastas are like, that's right, man. He's like, don't even get me started on YouTube.
Love Mr. Morgan.
Why are people surprised when people get mad about cultural appropriation? Mr. Morgan literally was calling everybody out in 1999.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Which like we had like faux Rastas. We would call
I'm trying to remember. I just remember that there weren't like a ton of black people, and like I don't even think we had a black student union.
We did have a black student union. It was 15 members strong.
Oh,
15 members.
It would have been 15 and a half if I had joined. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think my friend was in the black student union, and he's like, I'm not even really black. I'm actually African. Like,
he's like legit from the continent.
So, like, he's like, I'm West African, so can I join the black student union? Because I'm not actually, but like, you know, skin color wise, I identify. So yeah, our black student union, like that was one thing about high school. When people talk about high school, it's like, how diverse is your high school? And I was like, it wasn't. Well,
like it was.
I mean,
because there's a lot of. So the thing about Modesto is that there are a lot of groups that don't actually exist in other parts of the country that we don't think about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
Like our Syrian population is apparently like Modesto.
It's it's like the second largest or something in the country.
In the nation.
Yeah. I think after LA.
Chicago.
I was gonna say Chicago.
Really?
It's Chicago and then Turlock. Apparently is what I've heard. And so please don't look it up and quote me, anyone listening to this, but
Hmong.
Yep.
Hmong I forgot we had a large Hmong
population. First said Modesto, and then the second.
Because you know what it is they fall into that. They fall into that sliver of other that's like 2% because it's like 46% white, 46% Hispanic, and then literally everybody else is in that sliver of like whatever's left over. So it's easy to, you know, be blinded by that pie chart.
Yeah, but even like having gone to college in San Francisco and like being in a diverse place there, but the diversity was really different. I've realized that there are so many different cultures that I was exposed to in Modesto that were unique for the area that I didn't really appreciate, or I mean, like kind of half appreciated while I was there. But I had like Filipino friends, we had Hmong friends, we had our neighbors were Syrian. We were always trading food with them, tamales for dolma. Like that's amazing. They didn't complain about my dad's Grateful Dead on the weekends, and in return, they were doing Assyrian karaoke at like 1 a.m. And
I know how to say "shut up" in Assyrian.
Yeah, to their dog, not to
their dog,
not to humans. Don't worry. This is.
We never heard them yelling at each other.
Yeah,
it was just their dog.
Or like I followed someone on Instagram recently, and he is from, I want to say he's from Iraq, and one of the things that like he wrote like marhaba on it, and I was like, I read it and knew what that meant. Like that's, you know what I mean? I think that's just like it's these little things that that were very specific to where we grew up. But that being said, we did have a lot of white people in our school. It's not that there weren't a lot of white people. It just was diverse and different in these other ways.
When we were in high school, the high school we went to was the high school where the wealthier families went.
Well, it was ours, and then the other the newer one, the new one.
Enoch's?
No. That didn't exist.
I was like,
Johansson. Yeah. I felt like that was fairly wealthy too.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. We had a lot of BMWs in our fucking parking lot at high school.
We did. I remember distinctly that someone who remains unnamed.
I think you'll tell us when we're done recording.
Well, I mean, it's going to kind of give it away. I doubt they even listen to this. I just remember they were livid when it was, they're not my friends. I just know them through other people. They were livid when it was their 16th birthday, and their parents dared. Let's just say their last name was Tacoma. And instead of getting them a Tacoma for their 16th birthday, they got like an F-150. It was like, you got a brand new car, but you didn't get the brand new car that was named after you, and you were pissed. And I was like, the level of privilege of some of these people. Meanwhile, I'm driving a 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra.
Yes.
And living the dream. Actually, Carly drove it too. It was
we shared it.
Yeah.
And we got it for free as a hand-me-down.
Hand-me-down car.
Like someone was going to give it like to, Cars for Kids. And instead we're like, would you guys want this car? It's going to probably die pretty quick. And we're like, that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
They're like, it needs transmission work. It needed spark plugs.
Yeah.
It needed a lot more than spark plugs, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So funny.
Good times.
Good times. Hues by Jules offers custom artwork and original prints, specializing in watercolor, focusing on the human form and different shades of skin. If you're looking for that perfect gift for a birthday or have a special memory you'd like to commemorate, visit Hues by Jules on Instagram or find the Etsy shop of the same name. That's Hues, Hues by Jules, Juls. When pulling from Shakespeare lightly or in the most heavy-handed way, it's hard to fail when it comes to the longevity of a project. And in the case of 10 Things, it's hard to ignore the homage to Shakespeare in this film. The students attend Padua High School. Patrick Verona is the bloke paid to date Kat. Kat's best friend Mandela is obsessed with the bard himself. The consensus among critics in 1999 is that 10 Things is kind of a retelling, but the themes speak for themselves. In Taming of the Shrew, Shakespeare is making several statements. There's class difference and marriage as an economic institution, just to name a few. In 10 Things, it's social status and dating, which are topics more keen to teenagers. Kat hides her true emotions behind a tough exterior as a way to protect her heart. So does Kate in the original. The overprotective father is more concerned about his younger daughter than his elder daughter because his younger daughter doesn't have the tough exterior. In my opinion, this movie holds Shakespeare's themes well for its intended audience. Having seen this movie in my adolescence, there's a nostalgia factor when I watched this film as an adult. I didn't even consider whether or not this film aged well. But in 2019, Vox ran an article with the headline, 10 Things I Hate About You is as fresh as ever, even 20 years later, where the consensus is this film is still, as the headline suggests. What's your viewpoint in the has this movie aged well conversation?
I think it aged well. I think the one thing looking back on it, like you said, your podcast likes to go through the scope of like diversity and that sort of thing. I always get mad as a Latina when there isn't, like, I know that in Seattle there are Latinos. There were zero Latino like side characters, main characters. I guess Verona could be like, maybe like, no, it's definitely an Italian last name.
Yeah.
Like, there was like the lack of diversity, like even not even like East Asian, Southeast Asian. It was just like there was white. It was literally like a black and white.
Yeah, like here's some white people and then the quintessential sidekick Gabrielle Union.
Token black girl.
Yeah.
And let's put her in every single movie because everybody likes her. It's just like, that was the one thing that like seeing it now, but I mean, even now, like movies don't do a great job with diversity. Even shows that like are diverse, sometimes like take it, like it's still like not received well. Like there was like a new Disney movie that came out. People were mad that like some of the voice acting characters weren't actually from the Asian region as the movie is from. And it's just like, no, but like you got all Asian voice actors, but like people want more and more and more and more. And like, in 1999, I just remember watching the movie and thinking like, oh no, this looks a lot like my high school.
Yes.
Like this really does look a lot like my high school. And now that I look back on it, it still just reminds me of my high school. Like a lot of rich white people, the moody girl driving a crappy car.
Yeah.
And eventually settling for a nerd because that's what you do. In my way, I think that like the movie definitely aged well. It doesn't have as many like problems as other movies do. Like I didn't have issue. Like I know like Patrick sneaks into a bar and is drinking. Like
I forgot about the scene where Kat flashes the teacher to get Patrick out of
when I saw that I was just like,
it's like my brain conveniently deleted that scene.
Right? I remember thinking that it was funny,
Yeah,
like,
I thought it was
at
funny
the
at the time
time.
too, but now I'm like, not even in listen, I was never, as in Becca knows this plight too, not small enough tits to go around without a bra on.
Yeah, no, never.
But also to flash a teacher of
Yeah.
all people and be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to distract this grown man
Yeah.
with my
Who then-
underage boobs.
Who then
What?
continues to stare long enough so Patrick can sneak out of detention.
Yeah, just like Aruga, like instead of the actual reaction, which should be "Holy shit, cat! What
Put
are
your
you
shirt
doing?"
down. Yeah,
The
this is
reaction should be,
inappropriate.
someone give me a blanket, just like cover
Yeah,
it.
just no,
Yeah.
no. Don't know what this is, but I'm not. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, it's just like,
Or like stare at her eyes like a human instead of like,
Like we know what happened to you, teacher, in 2 years. You got
sure.
picked up for oogling too many high school girls, and you're no longer the soccer coach.
oof,
right.
oof. There was one scene too where Bianca used the R word, like describing, and I was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
I forgot about
coming in hot. But that was like
Yeah.
the only line in the movie where I remember being particularly like taken aback.
Yeah.
At the things that flew just really willy-nilly back then.
I did appreciate the cat and what's his face? Joey. Like that, like she just like tells
Joey Donner.
Hey, just so you know, let's not be, sisters in another way. Like, don't get with that dude.
Yeah. Eskimo sisters.
He's gonna be Eskimo sisters, like gross. And I was just like, yeah, we went out for a month freshman year. Everybody was doing it. And like, I wasn't doing it freshman year, sophomore year. I wasn't doing it.
Same.
But I had friends that were. And it was just like,
yeah, it was an innocent way. It was like very teenager way of talking about sex and having sex. Exactly. It wasn't like, fucking Pretty Little Liars or some shit.
Addressing like the peer pressure of it too, because like you really feel like, I remember when I was in like 8th grade, I remember I had a crush on a guy. I was like, I could have sex with him. I'm like, girl, you're stupid. You were not going to have sex with that dude. Like,
yeah.
You were going to go to first base with him. Second base. Like, no, like.
And like, what is even first base?
What is sex? Like, and just the fact that she was like, we did it once and then we didn't do it again. And it's like, and then they broke up because she didn't want to do it again.
Yeah.
And that changed everything for her. And I was like, that's very relatable, I think. And a lot of girls can have that experience. Like, I was pressured into having sex with my boyfriend. My boyfriend didn't like it. And then we broke up.
Yeah.
And I think that like a lot of girls can relate to that. And that has aged well. And the fact that like, that was kind of like between that and then the trauma of their mom leaving, it was like, oh, well, yeah, of course, I'd be a bitch too.
Yeah. And they could have had it that their mom passed on and like that was the trauma. But I almost appreciated that it wasn't like, I mean, there's so many shows where it's like, oh, it's a single parent. Why? Because they died tragically. And while that is relatable, I think that the parent leaving is something that, like having more abandonment issues is something that a lot of people, and I don't know statistics, but in my mind, more people probably do deal with.
Yeah. I mean, even just divorce,
And I think it explains the dad's behavior better too, because he, who knows what his wife left to do. Like, that's a mystery. So he's extra protective of his daughters because of his job being an OBGYN and because his wife left. So he tightens the reins on his kids because he doesn't want to lose them to like whatever secular implications exist.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would work as well had mom died.
Mm-hmm.
No, because then he'd just be sad. He wouldn't be mean.
Yeah.
Like,
but I do want to go back to what Kat calls Joey. Joey Eat Me Donner. Like, remember when that was like an insult when people would be like, eat me?
Yeah.
I wish you would. But like, what was the implication? Like in high school, if like somebody said eat me, I'd be like
I know, exactly. Like, what does that even mean when you're like
now, like eat me? Like I remember, Carly, do you remember like we would say that and mom would be like, don't say that, because like obviously it is a sexual thing, but like
we didn't know
it was sexual. But yeah, Joey eat me Donner.
The movie's so clever because that scene where Andrew Keegan, Joey Donner, and Bianca they're looking at his headshots and he's like, which headshots should I use? And it's a black t-shirt and a white t-shirt, but they're both black and white pictures.
Literally photoshopped.
And he's like, I like whichever one. And he's like, yeah, because it's more. And she's like, pensive. And he's like, damn, I was going for thoughtful.
Or the one where he's like, this is underwear, and then this is swimsuit. He's like, do you see it? Do you see the difference? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, what did I do?
She's like, immediately regretting my decision.
Immediate regret.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna be like the most popular guy in school. She's like, oh, you suck. Oh God. Damn.
She's like, never meet your heroes.
Yes. It's so well written.
I think that's relatable too for anyone who has ever like had a big crush on somebody and then finally like got to know them better and you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Oh my God. I had the biggest crush, and I'll tell you guys offline because you'll know who it is, in high school, of this one person. And I am so grateful I never officially met him, because I think actually, Carly, I think I've told you who it was before. And I think you told me that maybe it wasn't you anyway, but like, I feel like my bubble would have been bursted if I had like met him.
Oh my gosh.
So
Dude.
I had a crush in high school. He was so hot, just so hot, but he was like a year younger than me. So I was like,
oh,
like I did not care what grade you were. Okay. You're younger, you're older, 2 years older, 2 years younger. I didn't care. Everybody was free game.
Get biggest flirt by being picky on the age, guys.
Right? Dude, fine. Like Rachel and I would talk about him. She'd be like, ooh-wee. And then I just remember one day, like going through old photo albums at my house and realizing dude looks just like my dad in high school. And I was like, done. Can't. And now every time I see him, like now he's like a legit model. Like he's like modeled for shit.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, yeah, dude was fine. He also looks like my dad when my dad was young and skinny.
That's really funny.
That is so funny.
Yeah. I was like, he was so hot, but also Tony.
But also, hi, Tony.
I had an experience of somebody that I had a huge crush on, and then we went out shortly.
Yeah.
And we kissed, and it was the worst kiss of my entire life. And I was like, oh my bleh. So yeah. Yeah.
I just don't understand how you could be a bad kisser. Like, it's not hard. You know what I mean? It's really upsetting when
it's like
someone's
the
a bad
ratio.
kisser.
There's like a couple like percentages. Like you can't be hot and smart, except for me and Carly and you, obviously.
Obvi.
For the exceptions.
Yeah.
But like that was like an insult that like it's like an inside joke between me and my sisters. Like one of their friends does something dumb. We're like, yeah, but she's really pretty.
Yeah.
Like, no, but she's really pretty though. So like obviously she's gonna have like some faults up here because she's really pretty. So
these are jokes, by the way, for everyone.
Yeah, we want to preface this.
Yeah. I just want to put this out there. You can be pretty and smart at the same time.
Yeah, just
we
like
do firmly believe that. This is sarcasm.
Yeah, we're being sarcastic.
Yes. For the listeners out there, if you think you're pretty and smart, you are. You're the prettiest and the smartest.
The smartest.
But I felt, and I stopped counting how many dudes I kissed because it started getting gross. And I was like, how I don't have an orally transmitted.
Oh my God, Becca!
Just from kissing. I was. My friends in high school called me a lip
slut.
Lip slut. Oh my
Because I'd make out
god.
with anyone and anything. I did not care.
That's
Like,
drunk Julia. When Julia gets drunk, she's like, I need to kiss somebody. And then
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight.
And then, like, thank God for my friends who are like, no, girl, you got no prospects. You're good. Because the next day, I ultimately am always like, why did I make out with that guy?
Yeah. Well, I just remember in all of my research, and there was plenty of research.
I need to add though that like drunk Julia did not show up until her 20s.
Yeah, until it was appropriate.
Yeah.
The hotter the dude was, the worse the kisser he was.
You think so? That's not my experience.
Absolutely. The hotter the dude was, either he was a good kisser. It was either they're a good kisser, but they like to give you hickeys. Do you remember?
Listen, I am not opposed to hickey as long as I can cover it. So
in high school, like
in high school, no, I did not want.
Come on,
yeah, they're either a good kisser and they give you hickeys, or they're not a good kisser.
I've never had the experience of making out with a hot dude who wasn't a good kisser, and I really don't ever want that experience because kissing is my favorite part.
The one that I was thinking of, you guys, there was too much teeth. How do you even manage that?
How was there too much? Did he have big teeth?
Did he have
no, but he was like chewing my face. And I was like, stop it. It hurts.
10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite films of all time. As a person who has gone through a fair amount of university level English courses, I'm very much overstudying Shakespeare, but I'm not overstudying adaptations or inspired by works. I will also add, out of the Shakespeare works that exist, Taming of the Shrew is the one story that I own several different adaptations, both in book and film. If you haven't seen the 1953 Kiss Me Kate, starring Katherine Grayson, Howard Keel, and Ann Miller, then honestly, you haven't lived. It's a musical. It's great. It's singing, dancing. It's beautiful. It's so much fun. There's even a scene where like they're dancing on top of a table. I love it. I want to thank my guests today for joining. They will be back to discuss 2 more flicks that were released during our high school years. Carly, Becca, thank you so much for joining me today. Can you tell everybody where they can find you if they want to keep up with you?
So all my socials are pretty much private because I have children.
Yeah.
But you can see me bitch on Twitter at Becca Montes. That's at BECCAMONTES Becca Montes on Twitter.
And if you want to get mostly home organization tips, you can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at Tidy Revival, or check out tidyrevival.com.
Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous is written, edited, and produced by me, Julia Washington. If you love our show and want to support it, there's a few ways you can do that. You can become a supporter on Patreon for $10 a month to receive ad-free episodes with bonus content, or you can write a review and rate the podcast wherever you find your podcasts. And lastly, if neither of those things is your style, you can find us on Instagram. Give us a follow and share our video clips with your friends. We're on IG as Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.